On August 20th, 2026, heavy machinery moved outside Pakistan's High Commission in New Delhi, tearing away barricades and concrete barriers in broad daylight. The move follows Pakistan's earlier removal of security barriers outside India's High Commission in Islamabad, turning street infrastructure into diplomatic retaliation. The barriers may sit outside the legal property line, but the message is unmistakable. How far can this physical tit for tat escalate? A line of heavy machinery moves through a security perimeter, systematically stripping metal barricades and concrete bollards from the pavement. This operation is taking place on the streets of Chanakyapuri, directly outside the Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi. Under international norms, diplomatic missions are treated as the most protected environments in a host country. The safety of the perimeter is the legal responsibility of the nation that hosts them. Removing these external security barriers suggests a shift in that protective stance, creating a visual of a mission that has been suddenly exposed. The deployment of these bulldozers serves as a specific physical signal sent from New Delhi to Islamabad. The maneuver follows the logic of tit for tat diplomacy, a strategy where one nation mirrors the specific physical actions or constraints recently imposed by another. In this environment, routine urban infrastructure, parking poles, queue lines, and traffic blocks is used as a medium for communicating national power. The decision to mobilize this equipment traces back 72 hours, following a series of diplomatic frictions in the Pakistani capital. Relations had tightened following a recent US ambassador's visit to Kashmir, an event that Islamabad formally protested as a violation of regional sensitivities. Concurrently, the two nations are deadlocked over a move by New Delhi to suspend the Indus Water Treaty, a critical agreement governing shared water. In the wake of these disputes, Pakistani authorities moved first. They quietly dismantled the parking poles and security barricades positioned outside the Indian High Commission in Islamabad. Indian officials filed a formal protest against the removal of their security infrastructure, but the request was ignored. While the initial removal in Islamabad was a quiet, clerical task, India utilized heavy machinery in broad daylight to perform its counter response. The force of the teardown exposed areas of the mission usually hidden from the public, bringing the building's passport window number 1 into full view of the street. By performing the teardown so visibly, India signaled that any perceived diplomatic slight would be met with a disproportionately loud physical response. This exchange also highlights a specific detail regarding the status of these buildings and the laws that govern them. Because both India and Pakistan are members of the Commonwealth of Nations, they do not exchange embassies. Instead, they operate high commissions. Beyond the name, there is a technical question of how a host nation can dismantle security infrastructure without violating international law. The 1961 Vienna Convention mandates that a host nation ensure the safety of a foreign mission. However, that legal mandate stops at the property line. It does not explicitly require external street barricades or permanent traffic bollards on public roads. India maintains its legal compliance through less visible layers of security, intelligence monitoring, police patrols, and continued recognition of diplomatic immunity. Removing the barricades creates a physical image of hostility for the cameras, while remaining within the technical boundaries of international agreements. The bulldozer action establishes a more aggressive standard for communication between New Delhi and Islamabad. It is part of a larger trend where states are using the mundane details of diplomatic protocol to apply political pressure. A similar pattern of escalation has surfaced in the relationship between India and Canada. Following sharp political disagreements involving the Canadian Prime Minister, both nations engaged in the reciprocal expulsion of diplomats, reducing the operational capacity of their missions. Modern states are increasingly fighting these battles through the manipulation of optics, protocol, and urban infrastructure rather than traditional military engagement. At what point do these symbolic physical gestures reach their limit and move from a battle of barricades to an actual physical conflict?